All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. I'm Kenny Fogel, your host. I'm glad you could join us tonight. And I've got in my pocket right here the hottest ticket in Nelson County for this year. And you can get one too. It won't cost you hardly anything at all. We're going to talk to some people here about what it is and how you can be involved. We've got Frances Smith here. She's the president-elect of the Bardstown Rotary Club, along with John Kelly, who's in the Rotary as well. Been with it for many years. And first of all, welcome to the show.
Thanks. We're glad to be here.
I'm glad y'all are here. And again, this is maybe 40-some years?
42.
42 years of the Bardstown Rotary Club wine and cheese tasting.
Yes.
And it's just like starting all over every year.
Yes, it is.
Well, what is a wine and cheese tasting? Why do you even bother to have one?
Well, we have the wine and cheese for the Rotary to make money for different charities in town, and we give money for charities all over the world. But it's a great time for people to gather and talk and have a good time. Drink wine, beer, cheese, and we have a live auction. We have a silent auction. It's just a great time, and this year we're having it at a new location. It's going to be at the Old Kentucky Home State Park under the rotunda. Mm-hmm. And that way we can have it rain or shine, and it is going to be a beautiful affair, and it's going to be a beautiful night, so everybody has to come.
Well, it's going to be just because you said it was.
All right.
Well, and I know I've talked to you about this before, and you're pretty excited about this new venue. I mean, I think you got a lot of hope that this is going to be a place that's going to be really more magical than even down on the Spalding Hall. We've had it before.
Yes, the last 2 years we were rained out at Spalding Hall and had to move it, and people don't like going inside for the wine tasting. Yeah. So if we can keep it outside, I think it's going to make a lot better venue. So
okay, well, before we get into the wine tasting and all what it's about, John, you've been in the Rotary Club for a number of years. What is it about Rotary that you like?
Well, it's, of course, a service community, and we also, you've been in the Rotary as well. Mm-hmm. You meet a lot of people. It's a diverse group, and it's set up to be a diverse group because you have to have you can't have the same occupation represented numerous times within the group. They want numerous occupations represented, so you meet a lot of people and get to do community service at the same time.
Well, like Frances mentioned, you're going to raise a little money, hopefully, at this wine and cheese tasting. What do you do with the money? I mean, what do you, if you raise the money, you got to do something with it.
Well, we have a scholarship fund. We also, some will go to the Heart Association, and then we have other charities that, of course, come and ask us money on a regular basis, and we'd like to help out those who need it.
Well, Rotary Club has had a major impact, I know, for Nelson County since the 80s. I mean, you got a big clock up there in the park and things like that. Very visible club, and again, a lot of people depend on the Rotary Club to get by. I know a lot of charities are constantly, every week there's a charity coming by asking if you can help with this, can you help with that? And again, the scholarships, you give away, numerous scholarships every year. I don't know how many it is this year, but every year. And if you don't have the money, you can't do that.
That's correct. We just gave away scholarships here recently.
All right, well, it's got scholarships to give away. So you're helping people go to school and quite a few other things. But the wine and cheese tasting, like I said, I mentioned earlier about this being a hot ticket. I mean, And you'll know that I argued myself, it's only $35 a person if they buy it ahead of time. I think that's way too cheap. I really honestly believe that because you've got wines from all over the world plus wines from Kentucky.
I've been to Napa Valley and tried wines, done wine tasting there. I've been to Australia, New Zealand, Italy, New York, different places. And those, like Napa Valley, I mean, you have to travel each winery. You have to pay for the tastings, $5 to $10 a tasting. And you have to drive, and you only can, taste California wines there. And you've got to drive in your car, and you're going to spend more than $35 and have the ability to test fewer wines from only one region. Here you can go to one place, over 40 wines from all over the world, and taste those right here and walk 10 feet between tables to do it. I mean, where else? You can't go to a bar and do that.
No.
And you can't do it, certainly can't do it for $35.
No, that's what I say. $35 is a steal, I think. And you walk in, you get, I know I've tried German wine. Didn't know they made wine in Germany, but you learn stuff. But for me, somebody, a little poor boy from Holy Cross, go in there to be drinking French wine and German wine and Italian wine, all this wine from around the world. And some of it, I'll be honest with you, some of it I like, some of it, I don't have the palate for it. So I'm not a wine connoisseur. I tell people all the time, sometimes I don't know the difference between grape juice and apple juice. But if you come, you do find there's a lot of variety.
Yes.
So you ever drink much wine at all?
Not a lot, but I do like wine.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you find a lot of wine? Have you ever discovered any wine at the wine and cheese tasting that you liked and that you didn't think you would like?
yes, but I couldn't tell you the name of it.
Well, that's another thing too. I know you got the program you put out. You got a little program. It's got a list of all the wines, and it actually describes the wine a little bit. So when you walk up there, you're not completely taken off guard. You know a little bit about what you're about to drink. Some wines are dry, some are sweet, some are. That's about all I know about wine. So hopefully, I try to learn a little bit every year when I go too.
We have a poster this year that tells you all about wine, the different types of wines, sweet wines, and it's if anybody wants to know anything about wine, it will explain it to them. Mm-hmm. So we're prepared. We're going to have some of the Stephen Foster people come around, and we're going to have classical music. And we're going to meet a lot of different people because a lot of people come to Bardstown for the wine tasting, and it's very interesting to see where they come from.
Yeah.
So it's a great time.
That was my next thing. Obviously $35 for all the wine you can drink, but plus you get $35 and get to hang out with a lot of people you maybe see on a regular basis. But again, it's a good group of people. I mean, it just seems like it's a very good group of people. It's a very classy affair. I mean, it's something that when you come in, you're going to walk away feeling like you've had a good time, and really you get your money's worth. I don't care. $35, you're going to get your money's worth.
This year we're challenging the women to wear their derby hats, if anybody will. So if you want to, you're more than welcome.
That's not a jockey's hat. That's one of the big with all them feathers and all that stuff in there. You got a derby hat?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you always have a little derby party every year, so you have a different hat every year?
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's good. So wine, you got wine, and now I know this year talking about upgrade of a little maybe cheese. Maybe that's the other half of the equation: wine and cheese.
We're having a better variety of cheese this year than we've had before. Howard Keen's taking care of that, so I'm not real sure what the cheese is.
So wine and cheese and fruit and everything. It's pretty big.
I think you mentioned that it's going to be maybe Kenny's cheeses. And that's made here in Kentucky. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I tasted their cheeses we use some of them at the Tablet Tavern. So.
Again, there are some Kentucky wines as well usually at this. So there's people that are behind the wine table. They know. Are these people that know a little bit about wine, or are they just? Are there somebody you can ask? Or are you pretty much on your own to learn what you like and what you don't like?
They can answer some of your questions, but that's why we have the charts up there if anybody's really interested in knowing a lot more about the wine. Mm-hmm. So. And
for the non-wine drinkers, they even have beer. So,
yes, yes.
So there's beer, there's music, there's wine, there's cheese, there's fruit.
Auction.
You have silent auction plus a live auction. Billy Frank Harnett, I guess he does. He's been doing this for a number of years now.
Yeah.
So,
I think John has a list of some of the.
Yeah, what we got this year?
Some of the live auction items. David Clark, he's developed his own kind of line of jewelry called Bourbon and Ice, and he sells that at the Bourbon Festival. But he's using that same theme and is going to do a Bourbon and Ice, but craft a special one just for the wine and cheese. So that this is going to be a one-of-a-kind thing that's going to be auctioned off. We've got season passes and tickets to the concerts at the Stephen Foster Story. Anytime Fitness is going to we're going to auction off a 6-month membership there. Cases of coffee, basket of gift certificates that the I think the Chamber of Commerce is donating. Mm-hmm. And these are just a few of the things we have. There's going to be numerous things on the live auction, and then there'll be other things on the silent auction as well.
So there's a lot.
So you can come get a good deal probably on many of these things.
Absolutely. I know I walked away with a good deal a couple of years ago, a grill of some sort. Still got it, so it always works out well. And you got a raffle as well. Now, is this a trip or is this a win money? I know that changes year to year.
The raffle this year will be for scholarships. Mm-hmm. And we will also give a donation to the Heart Association. So it's kind of tied in together.
Okay.
But we really are trying to raise more money for scholarships because it's something that we really feel strong about.
We've got to educate people. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's a number one thing. So again, June the 3rd, Saturday evening, June the 3rd, 6:30 in the evening till 9 o'clock at night at my old Kentucky Home State Park. Again, that's the new venue. So there's a variety of ways you're going to be able to get into it. But as far as parking, I mean, I know they will be asking that question, but we'll get you there. The question is,
They have plenty of parking.
plenty of parking.
Yes.
So again, it's on a Saturday night, June the 3rd, 6:30. It starts at 6:30 and it ends at 9 o'clock. So if you want to come and spend the entire time, that's great. If you just want to come in and out, that's great too. But again, $35 if you get it in advance. And there's several places I know you can buy the tickets in advance. I know Kenny's Cleaners, Talbot Tavern, I'm sure has got them. But where else?
All the Rotarians
All
have 'em.
Rotarian. I've got
But
one.
they also have them at Clark Jewelers, the Chamber. I don't really have that list in front of me.
Well,
so-
look at it. It's
Well,
on Facebook.
Yeah, you can go on Facebook, and the list of places where you can buy it is on Facebook, and there's ability to buy it on Facebook as well.
Oh, really? So
Use a credit card, yes.
Oh, yeah,
You can use
all right.
credit card this year.
That's an upgrade, so that's a good thing. So it's always something new, something better, something. And I can be honest with you, I'm sort of excited about it this year, especially after the last 2 years. Been indoors, people like to be out under the stars. And I know again you mentioned some classical music and down around the gazebo. I think they're going to have things lined up with the food and the.
I think we're going to have a photographer there to take pictures if you're interested, and it's just going to be a great night.
It is.
Everybody
it really
needs
is.
to be there.
It is. And again, $35 if you buy these in advance, $40 at the door, which is not a whole lot of difference. But if you decide you want to check out and then wait till the last minute, bring in some friends from out of town, give them a call. And again, there's no real limit on how many people you can have. And it can get too many, obviously. But I don't guess we have any limit on how many people can be there. But you want to get there early because
I hope we reach that limit.
it gets crowded sometimes.
Yes, it does.
And hopefully this year will be one of those years. Again, Rotary is such a good cause, and I guess that's the big thing is, everybody thinks, well, we're out having a lot of fun and having a good time drinking a little wine, but at the same time, making a difference. And I know that's what hopefully everybody, that's what they're into it for with the Rotary Club, and it seems to be a good place to be.
Well, I've been going through a lot of training because I'm going to be the president next year, and I have learned so much about Rotary that I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
It does a lot of fantastic things all over the world. Puts clean water into fifth world countries, and some doctors go and take care of kids for free all over the world. We started trying to eradicate polio in 1965. We have 5 cases left in the whole world. If we can cure these 5 in 3 years, it will be eradicated all over the world. That's what I'm really proud of. So little bit of our money goes to international to do a lot of great things all over the world.
Well, that's the key to it all. Like I said, you make a little money at fundraisers like this, and hopefully it goes to help everybody. Well, John, Francis, I appreciate y'all being in here. That really makes some difference. And again, hopefully on June the 3rd, Saturday, write it down on your calendar right now, June the 3rd. And again, check out the Facebook page or call a Rotarian if you know one, and find out a little bit about this wine and cheese tasting. It's been going on 42 years, you say?
Yes.
So obviously somebody's doing something right. If something's lasted that long, and make a little money and have a little good time.
It's going to be a good time this year.
And you'll be able to rest up June 4th.
Yes.
All right. Well, John Kelly, Francis Smith here with us. I'm glad you could join us. And again, hope you can join us on June the 3rd. It's a Saturday night, 6:30 to 9 o'clock at my old Kentucky Home State Park. And it's going to be outdoors. Obviously, if it rains, it does have an indoor places to go to. But it's not, Francis said it's not going to rain, and she's never lied to me before, so I don't see why she's going to start now.
Well, it's covered, so if it does rain,
That's right.
we don't need to go in.
Exactly right.
Unless we have a tornado, then we'll go in.
And then we might go in, Depends on how much wine we got.
Yeah.
Stick around, a lot more to come here on Community Focus. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll be right back.